play the game with the people that writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really wanna do. And lonely at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, it's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat, and I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. Yeah, and I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, they know I'm going all in.
What is up, everyone? How's everybody doing? Welcome to another episode of the Niner Boys podcast. How's everybody doing today? Today we have my brother from a different mother. We got Pete from Niner Fanatic Podcast, and we got Brandon from Forever Niner Podcast. How you guys doing, gentlemen?
Doing well, man.
I am
Doing
great.
well.
Two fantasy drafts in the books, ready for week one. We got Ayuk and we got Trent Williams, the SilverBack in the house. So I mean, we're ready. We're ready to roll.
All
Yes,
right.
sir. And I'll say I got two fantasy drafts in the books too as well. And I'm doing one right now with my Hive guys. So, football's back, man. Trey Williams back in the building. Ayuk's back in the building. CMC is back in the building. I mean, we're feeling good as Niner fans right now, man. Let's get it.
Yeah, the full crew. I mean, it was to the point where, man, is Ayuk going to play? Is Trent Williams going to be able to be back on time for the Jets, the home opener, to protect Brock Purdy? Do we trust Jalen Moore against that front four? There were so many questions opened, and the Niners, at the last minute, it seemed, got their shit together and took care of Trent Williams and Brandon Ayuk. Now, real quick, ladies and gentlemen that are tuning in, there are a little bit of technical difficulties. My brother Brandon and Pete cannot see each other. Let me know in the comments. Can you see all of us in the comments? Let me know if you can see myself.
I went into YouTube.
You can?
I went into YouTube. You can't see it on YouTube.
You could or
Yeah,
you
you
can't?
You can.
Oh, okay, you can. Okay, good. That's good. At least that works. So, Pete, I'll start with you. Now that Trent Williams is signed and delivered, how effective do you think he'll be week one, based that he's able to go to practice today?
So considering that he had his interview, he had his press conference today, and he kind of, when they asked him about that question, he laughed about how he doesn't really do anything in preseason or training camp to begin with, because he said Kyle does a really good job of keeping him fresh, and he kind of knows that he doesn't really need a lot of practice. I expect him to be a little bit sluggish because he's still got to get himself into game shape regardless. But I still think that even a 60% Trent Williams is better than Jalen Moore. So I'm ready to go. I'm just hoping we're just praying to get out of there healthy, and no random injuries, because we're going right into games.
I hear you. Yeah, I'm with you. Brandon, now that Brandon is back and signed, what are your thoughts of this game? Do you feel more confident that the Niners can handle their business with this opener against the Jets? Or do you think that the fact that they didn't get signed right away, there might still be some lingering effects there for both guys?
Well, I felt confident already. Even before the signing was made official, but I feel even more confident now that it's in the past and Ayuk is ready to go. He was at practice today. I think I feel like he's gonna be okay coming into week one next Monday, or this coming up Monday, I should say. So I'm excited, dude. I'm now that everything's taken care of. I'm just excited for Monday Night Football to start and get this freaking dub, man. You know?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. I can't wait for the game to start on Monday. Have the season started. All this drama that we went through all off season. Is he going to be able to sign? If they're not going to sign, is he going to retire? Referring to the Silverback. So many questions that we had, and how many people had everything wrong? A lot of content creators out there that have supposedly connections had a youth already gone and had him with the Steelers and had him here and had him there. And at the end of the day, John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, whether you guys agree, and I'm referring not to the panel, but to every Niner fan watching, whether you guys agree or not, if John and Kyle didn't do it right from the start, at the end of the day, they handled their business and they signed both of them, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly.
I didn't waver the whole time. Like, and I think that was mostly for our show that we figured that it was going to end up this way and that it was just going to take time. And he still came in before BOYZ did. So I just think that the 49ers and I'm trying to remember who it was. Shout out to Coach Yak for putting out the I believe it was Albert Breer put out the interview. He had not the interview, but he had an article about the process of why it took so long for it to get signed. And I think part of it was miscommunication. I think part of it was they had the original deal on the table for Ayuk, and then they had a deal in place, and then the wide receiver the wide receivers just exploded. The salaries exploded. So they said, wait a minute, before we sign this, like, now we've got to revisit. And they had to completely scrap the whole thing and start all over, is what Albert Breer said. And at that point, they put the deal that he accepted on the table on August 12th. And he ended up having to come back to it because they couldn't find anybody that willing to give the 49ers exactly what they wanted and to give Ayuk exactly what he wanted. So they ended up having to go back and offer the exact same thing, and he took it this time. But even he mentioned in his press conference today that Ayuk mentioned that he made it a little difficult on the 49ers at the end. It could have been easier.
Yeah, most definitely. He could have signed August 10th instead of signing when he signed, when definitely the Niners did not accommodate him with more money. I heard a Niner fan saying out there that, or content creators, I should say, that the Niners finally gave in, right? That the Niners bucked and they gave in to Ayuk. I didn't see it that way. I saw that they had a contract given to him on the 10th, and the Niners didn't waver. And finally, when John Lynch put his foot down and said, hey, at some point you got to play, and you're going to be starting penalized for games missed and practice and so forth. And Brandon, you cannot afford. Trent Williams could afford it. Brandon and you couldn't. So once the rubber met the road, Ayuk had no choice but to sign. It seemed like when he was in Santa Clara to sign the, you know how they put the little the little pin feather thing. I don't know about you guys, but if you guys seen it, when John Lynch came in and shook his hand, Brandon did not look happy. He looked like he signed because he had no choice, but he didn't get what he wanted. Or was it just me?
Oh no, I that's not the way. You go ahead first, Brandon, because I got a whole take on that.
I could see that, but I mean, I still feel like how do you explain it? I'm sorry, I'm trying to do this draft at the same time. Go first while I figure out what the hell I'm going to say.
So I'm gonna get my take off here. So the way I saw it on the video, because I watched it multiple times, what it looked like was Brandon was happy to get his money. He was happy that this was over. He had his kid with him. John dapped up his kid and was like talking to, and there didn't look like to be any content, hard feelings at all to me. I felt like Brandon was happy it was over. He was coming back to the team he wanted in the first place, and I think that we got that same vibe at the press conference today. So I don't know. But I mean, everybody can see it a different way. I just the way I saw it was almost a feeling of relief that it was over and that he was coming back to where he was comfortable.
Yeah, I think he was happy for that he finally got it over with and got it signed. I mean, he even said, like you said, Pete, in today's presser, how he kind of made it more difficult at the end for them. And I think he. This is where he's always wanted to be. He didn't want to go anywhere else. He wanted to stay a Niner for sure, and we all knew that. It was just the fact of how this shit was gonna happen and how it was gonna end. So I'm just happy, like I said, dude. Like like it's over with. He's happy to be here. He's ready to go. He's pumped. I mean, you can even see in the presser today that he's pretty pumped right now. So I mean, in all honesty, dude, it's in the past now. Let's move on. He's pumped. We're pumped. Let's go win a fucking Super Bowl, bro.
Absolutely.
You know, you're right, guys. At the end of the day, regardless how the drama took place, how it worked out, at the end of the day, he's signed and he's here. He's not transferred. He's not traded. He's not here. He is a San Francisco 49er. Trent Williams is a Niner. They are at practice today. They're going to be available for the Monday night opener when we host the New York Jets. And let's just move on. Let's get that Super Bowl ring. Let's make every attempt to win as many games as we can and get that number one seed and go from there. There's no point of crying over spoiled milk. Like, whether we agree how we got here, a lot of us may be happy with it, maybe not happy with it, but at the end of the day, it's taken care of. Let's focus going forward. With that said, gentlemen, and I'll ask Pete first, this game against the Jets, which matchup do you think, in your opinion, can give us the most difficult to beat these guys?
Which team?
I would say, I mean, it has to be their defense against our offense. The reality of the situation is that we're getting, no matter how great Trent Williams is, and no matter how good Brandon Ayuk is, there's going to be some growing pains before they build that. The chemistry doesn't just automatically pop back onto the page. It's not. It's so I'm interested to see, because let's be honest, the Jets. The one thing I'm not even talking about Aaron Rodgers. I'm not even worried about him. The issue I'm more worried about is the Jets have a really good defense, and with our offensive line being in the state that it's been pretty much throughout the preseason, I'm worried about us being able to run the ball. I'm worried about us being able to protect Brock Purdy, and I just want us to get out of there healthy. Yeah, I think it's going to be. I think it's really the defense versus our offense. I think that there's going to be some growing pains for our offense.
Now, keep in mind, too, that their secondary is pretty damn good. Their linebacking core is not bad. But other than Williams in front, you know, they got the guy, what's the name we had last year, Javon Kinlaw. Really? I'm not even worried about him. Who do they really have? Reddick, who they brought in a trade to boost up their pass rush, hasn't signed and doesn't look like he's going to sign anytime soon. So other than Quinn Williams down the middle, and he's going to test Pooney, I believe, or Banks, who else do they have that I'm concerned about?
Well, I mean, you just said their corners. Their corners are are really good.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Saleh, it's not just the players, because it's really the scheme. And Salah, I don't care how long ago it was. Salah he knows the basics of what Kyle wants to do, and Kyle doesn't really take advantage of matchups. So he's not going to, if he sees a matchup that he likes, he's not going to go after that matchup. He's going to go. His offense is and the way he calls plays is predicated on taking advantage of the rules of your defense, which gets him in trouble all the time when he goes up against better defenses, because the teams know what part of the field he wants to go to. Can he make those adjustments? And can he make can he go away from his norm and maybe start targeting areas of the field that or just lesser than players, and letting his players be better than the other team is the question for me. So I really think it's about the scheme and Salah knowing what Kyle wants to do and taking that away.
Okay. Brandon, let me ask you a question. Aaron Rodgers hasn't played good football in about 2.5, 3 years. The last time he played in Green Bay, he had a bad season. Then last year he got hurt, 4 snaps in, and now he's coming back. Do you think they're getting the same Aaron Rodgers that we're accustomed to? Or do you think this guy, with his age now, with the injury, coming back from the injury, how concerned are you with this guy, Aaron Rodgers?
To be honest, I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is gonna look, especially with a new offense and a new team. We haven't seen that yet. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he is gonna come out and look with his new team and his new offense. So that question is kind of up in the air for me personally. I have to see the first game first, and I hope to God that he actually plays all game and doesn't get hurt at all, so we can see how he looks with a new team and new offense. That's definitely a question mark in my book. To be honest, I have to wait to see week 1 to see how he is with this new team.
Yeah. I'm with you. I just don't think that Aaron Rodgers is the guy that we've been accustomed to. I think our defense is going to get to him. It's going to be pressure. I think that having William Floyd and Bosa creating that pressure from the outside with stunts that Surgeon's going to be calling up. And then I really like Hargrave this year. And I like Malik Collins. I don't know if I know it was preseason when he played against, I don't know if it was the Raiders, when he had a little bit of playing time. Did you see Malik Collins just manhandle 2 players at the same time, like rag dogs, like get off of me? I want to see this guy in action. He is one of the guys that I'm looking forward seeing how much he can penetrate in the middle and push that pocket, make Aaron Rodgers go to the outside. I think Aaron Rodgers, when he gets frustrated, he's not on cue. If we can get him frustrated and pissed off, smack him on his face, tap him on his eyebrow every chance we can get, I think he'll make those mistakes. I do not expect Aaron Rodgers to have a good game. Maybe throughout the year, he starts getting his feet underneath him and starts playing better. But I think week 1, you're going to see a lot of mistakes from Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. What's your thoughts on that, Pete?
With Aaron Rodgers, I mean, there's going to be rust. First off, he's dealing with the whole new offense. I know that he has his former offensive coordinator, so there'll be some familiarity there.
And he sucks, by the way.
He sucked as a head coach. But I mean, they weren't. He wasn't a bad offensive coordinator. So I look at it as this. It's all new players. He has to build chemistry with his offense. I think that they're going to run the ball a ton, just because he's going to need that time to get acclimated. So I think they're going to run the ball. Breece Hall is a monster. They have another guy. they have another running back on their
They
squad.
got
too.
actually 3 good running backs.
Yeah, like, but it's they're. I'm not quite sure how good that offensive line is as well. There's some question marks there, which means to me that they're probably going to try and run the ball and try and win with their defense. But Aaron Rodgers, I mean, I think the 49ers really kind of have his number. They know that he's going to find a guy. His whole thing is he finds a guy and he just keeps throwing to that one guy. He doesn't pay attention to the whole field, and that's the way I feel like he's going to play in this game. It's just going to be. It's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be a great day for Aaron Rodgers. I think our defense is going to get back to the old way that they used to play under D'Amico, and I hate bringing D'Amico up so much as often as I do, but I just feel like that's the type of that the scheme is going to go back to more of that playing closer to the line of scrimmage, just being more physical with teams. So we'll see.
So their running back is Brees Hall, Braylon Allen, and Isaiah Davis.
Okay.
They're going to have. I'm not,
that.
and then listen, their offensive line. They added some pieces there, free agency. Mm-hmm. They took care of their tackles. They're older, but they got the right and left tackle. But the 2 guys in the middle, the guards and the center, are not that good. If Javon Hargrave and Collins can put pressure in the middle and disrupt that, because we're going to have to stop the run. And that's another thing that I'm curious to see is how well are we going to be against the run and covering our gaps and not overshooting, because we don't have Greenlaw. We have to adjust with I forgot his name, the kid from Green Bay, who's stepping in. Is he going to be able to hop out? Is Hufanga going to start week 1? Is he going to be available to hop with that run? So I think if we can maintain and stop that run and make them one-dimensional and put the ball in Aaron Rodgers' hands, I think we're in a good situation. I like our defense based on their offense. I don't think their offense is that great. They do have Wilson. They do have some playmakers. But if they get the ball running, if they're running the ball very well, then I think we're going to have a long freaking day. Brandon, what do the Niners need to do, in your opinion, and with whom, to make sure the Jets are not successful running the ball?
I'm going to ask you guys this, because I feel like I am a little bit worried, but are you guys still worried about our run game, or our run defense?
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I am until I see different.
I'm not so much worried about our run defense. I think, and I could be wrong. I don't think it's going to be lights out like it was a couple of years ago, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as last year.
What makes you think it's not going to be as bad as last year, Pete? I'm really interested in your take. And why wouldn't the Niners be as good as in the past either?
Because I feel like they're going to be playing closer to the line of scrimmage. And like I was talking about earlier, they're going to go back to that aggressive D'Amico style where they're not playing a bunch of soft zones all the time. And they're not having guys on islands like one-on-ones. It's going to be a lot of what I saw in the preseason was there was a lot of missed tackles by the younger guys, but a lot of guys were in really good position to make plays. And I think once we got the starters in, I think it's going to make a huge difference once they're in for the entire game. I think it's going to make a big difference. And once we can get halfway through the game and take them out of that, if we can score some points and take them out of their run game, then it won't be a factor.
Okay. What one player, Brandon, do you think the Jets oppose? They can give us a hard time. Which one player, if we do not take care of that player or overlook, they can put an ass kicking on us? Is there a certain player? Name one on offense and defense that you're like, we need to make sure that we have our eyes on this certain player on offense and certain player on defense?
Well, offense, I think it's gonna be Brees Hall for sure. I think that's their guy, their main weapon right there. And then defense, correct me if I'm wrong. Quentin Williams, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's another
cute.
guy on defense that I say that we need to watch out for sure and make sure. Is he on the right side or is he on the left side on Trent's side? I can't remember.
Well, he goes against the
He's a
guards. He
tackle.
doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't go against the tackles. He's an interior
Okay.
lineman.
Interior,
So
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
he'll go either Aaron Banks or Pooney.
Mooney? Okay. And I'm not too worried then especially if it's against Pooney because I feel like Pooney's did very well in the preseason. So
But he is a rookie, though.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's a
know,
rookie.
but I have high hopes.
I hope Pooney, if you're listening, listen to Brandon. Don't screw the pooch, man. Listen. He has great promise. I think this guy Pooney is going to be a great guy, and in the future. But he is a rookie. He's going to have jitters. He's going to be nervous when he sees the speed of a regular game. I expect him not to give up a sack or a play here. I just pray that he holds his own as much as he possibly can. And it's unfortunately he don't have a good right. See, at least what's his name? Brown has Trent Williams, right? To kind of like bail him out.
Yeah.
But Pooney has McKivitz. McKivitz can't even hold himself accountable. So that's going to put a lot of pressure on Pooney. If we had a stand-up right tackle that we can ease Pooney. But Pete, let me ask you, how much do you think this kid's going to struggle? Not because he's not going to be good eventually, but because he's a rookie and he's going to see a lot of stunts, a lot of different things the coordinator is going to throw at him.
Well, I think that Pooney's going to be decent, is going to be pretty good in pass protection because that's where his strength is.
Okay.
What I'm more concerned with Pooney is the run game, and can he help out McKivitz on that side so that we can not just run the ball to the left side all the time. But I think pass protection wise, I think Pooney is pretty much. I mean, he's better than everybody on the right side, like already from what I've seen, and so I don't think that he's going to have too many issues, even with stunts and that kind of stuff. I don't think that's going to be the issue for him. I think the issue is going to be the guys next to him. And McKivitz, they're going to go if they go to the outside of McKivitz, he's just going to let them run right around him, and because he doesn't have the athleticism, to stay with anybody, and he doesn't have the footwork. I know that he's serviceable, but he should be. I mean, you talk about serviceable when you talk about backups. But that's exactly what McKivitz is to me. He's a backup. Like, he could be a swing tackle, I guess, but in my opinion, he shouldn't be a starter. But he's who we've got.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I just don't think Pooney. I don't think Pooney's going to struggle. I think it's going to be the guys around him, and it might bleed into people looking at Pooney because he's guilty by association.
I agree. And listen, at least we have Trent Williams back. Imagine the feeling that we would have as Niner fans knowing that we have McKivitz on one side and Jalen Moore on the other side, going against a very good defense in the Jets. The fact that we got Trent Williams back at least allows me to know that the blind side of Brock Purdy is not going to be so much in question. Can't speak for his right side, but it is what it is. Real quick, I just want to throw a little thing in there real fast. Before we end the show, myself, Brandon, and Pete, we're going to do a pick'ems each week in our show. So we're going to talk Niners. We're going to talk to whatever the event is of that week. And then we're going to close it up with picking all the teams and who's going to win. And we're going to have a tiebreaker and I'm going to show the setup how we're going to do it here on the show every week. Now, with that said, that's just for us three here on the channel to have fun. Now, if you guys are competitive, for all those that are watching and you're competitive and you think that you know which teams are going to win that week, I want to challenge you. I have a group on ESPN and it's Fantasy Pick'ems, and it's $5 a week or a game, and the winner wins the pot. So if you're interested in playing, you don't have to play every week, but it's available. Obviously, the bigger the pot, the more the winning. So it's $5 to play, and the winner gets the pot. So if you are interested in participating, let me know in the comments. I will get your information. I will contact you, and I will get you in the group chat. We have a group chat where we all talk to each other, all the participants. I can send you the information. So if you're interested in playing Pick'em, where you pick every team that you think is going to win, and by the end of the year, not only would you have bragging rights, but you'll have money. But for us here in the panel, we're going to do it. So yes, Gannon, it's $5 per game a week. So you pay $5, you make all your picks, and if you get the most picks right of everyone playing, you win the pot that week. So it's a nice way to make money. It's fun. Money always makes things a little bit more interesting. So if you're interested, let me know. All right. We have 49er Minded in the house. What's up, brother? Welcome,
What up, Bashar?
Rick Diaz is in the house. Shane Griffin's in the house. What's up, peeps?
Real quick, those of you guys that are watching on each channel, if you guys haven't yet already, please hit that like. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet already.
Yes.
Support
yes.
all channels.
And make sure to follow all our channels that are in the bottom in the description below. So if you're not following Pete, Niner Fanatic podcast, shame on you. If you're not following Brandon and Forever Faithful podcast, shame on you. If you're following me, shame on you for following. No, just kidding. But we appreciate you guys very, very much. So the Jets, Robert Saleh, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, guys, Robert Saleh's first time we're facing him as a head coach of the Jets. Do you think Robert Saleh is going to have something planned, something special for Mr. Shanahan, his mentor?
I don't. That's not Saleh's game. Saleh's not the mastermind. He is a vanilla guy at heart. But he puts together a really good base scheme that accentuates his that does really good for the players that he has. So it makes it easier for all the guys on his team, even if he doesn't have the best guy at a certain spot. They end up playing at the very least serviceable. So I don't think there's going to be anything special. I think it's going to be typical Saleh, a lot of vanilla. The 49er fans used to complain about that all the time with Saleh, is that he just didn't really make a lot of adjustments. And I don't expect a lot of that in this game.
Okay. What are your thoughts, Brandon?
Honestly, I don't think so. I think he's going to try his best to coach his best game against Kyle and the Niners. But honestly, I can't see Robert Saleh having a good game against us. And I'm not trying to be cocky or anything because we have a good team and all that, but I don't know. It's just something's just telling me that it could be like a 14, 17 point game that Niners win. I don't know.
Throwback says special teams, which I tend to agree.
True. Yeah, true.
I think the 49ers are one of the few teams that special teams is it can actually be a part of the almost a part of the game plan against the 49ers because our special teams
That's true.
It's just ridiculously wild how like generationally bad sometimes the 49ers look on special teams.
We're
It's wild. I
like
don't get it. I'll be honest.
it's always our backfalls, the special teams.
Real quick, I just put my email on the comments. If you have any questions regarding the pick'ems or you don't understand how it's played, send me an email. I will explain to you in detail. I won't take too much time here on the show, but send me an email and I'll explain it to you, Papa, or anybody else who is interested in knowing or wanting to play. I think I think Kyle Shanahan, I always believe that no matter how great the student is, it's hard to beat the master, right? Because, you learned everything. And it's always the job of the master never to show everything to his student. So I believe there's things that Kyle's going to call up that Robert probably hasn't seen in this game. But it's going to be fun to watch a chess match going on with Robert Saleh and Kyle, and seeing how they do this. But the Jets are a good team. I think that if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, they can go far. But I think it's going to take Aaron Rodgers a few games to kind of get his feet underneath him, get his feel for the receivers and playing and confident. He needs to get hit and not hurt. Yeah. I just don't think this is the game that he's going to get his shit together. If he does, he's a pro. If he does, great. He's played his best in Green Bay, and we still kicked his ass. So I'm not worried about Aaron Rodgers at all. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a good game. I really don't. I think he'll throw 2 interceptions. Matter of fact, I'm calling it 2 interceptions. Who catches those interceptions? I don't know. But he'll throw 2 interceptions in this game. Brandon, do you agree on the interception, or you think I'm going a little off? 2 interceptions. Do you agree with me, yes or no?
Yes.
Pete.
What?
Do you agree that he can throw 2 interceptions in this game?
Oh, he definitely can throw 2. I think that I know Demo's going to get one.
Okay.
Demo's going to get one, and I'm going to call Jair Brown.
I like it, Jair Brown. But, nobody's calling Fred Warner. I think Fred Warner may get one in the middle. That pressure. I'm really interested in seeing what the front four does under Nick Sorensen. Now that he's going to bring back the stunts, he's going to bring back the things that we were so familiar with, the Miko Ryans and Robert Saleh, and kind of we got away with what's his name last year that I won't mention his name any longer. And I'm glad that we can get back to basics. I want to see Bosa go after Aaron Rodgers. I want to see Leonard Floyd do his thing, but I'm really keeping an eye on Malik Collins. Yeah. Malik Collins. I really want to see what he does in the middle. I think because he's taking over big shoes, man. I know a lot of people were not in love with Eric Armstead, and a lot of people didn't care for him. I understand most of the time he was hurt. But the guy, when he was healthy, he was something to be reckoned with. We need to put that pressure down the middle. How confident you guys are in Collins? Do you think that he can step up and be effective? He doesn't have to. If he becomes all-pro, even better. But you think he'll be effective enough to help out that front, in your opinion, Pete? And then, Brandon, you can answer afterwards.
I think he can. I think that it's him and Hargrave are almost identical as far as what type of interior lineman they are. So, but the key is they're both penetrators. Pause. But the reality of it is the whole scheme goes that they want we're back to the defensive lines. They just need to penetrate and cause havoc, and then it's up to the linebackers to come and clean it up. And and I think in that vein, I think that Malik Collins is going to be good because I think that he's good at getting penetration, and so is Hargrave. So I think I see both of those guys really helping out in that vein. And then during passing downs, I think that it's going to be great because I think say what you want to about Eric Armstead and what he did for the run game. He was not the greatest of pass rushers,
No, he wasn't.
and I think that is getting pressure up the middle and making those guys run into the arms of Nick Bosa and Leonard Floyd and the other guys on the edge. I think is going to be huge. I think that part is going to be huge. So if they can just get to third down, I think third down, the 49ers are going to specialize in third down and getting off the field this season.
I agree. Brandon, how are you feeling seeing number 23 back in practice today, buddy?
I'm feeling hyped, man. Our main guy is back and ready to get out there and kill it out there. And
That Vegas went up a point
yes,
against the odds because of Big Trent.
yeah, because of Trent, it went up a point. It was at 3.5. Now it's at 4.5.
That's crazy how one individual can have Vegas, at a point in favor of the 49ers because they know that at least the left side is going to be protected, right?
Correct.
And I'm so excited. Trent Williams is back, man. We got Christian McCaffrey back. We got Trent back. We got Ayuk back. We got the whole team. We're going to start off this season in a great position. Yes, we went through a lot of drama through the off season, but you know what? It kept us talking, right? For us content creators that have really nothing too much to talk about, the Niners gave us a lot of shit to talk about. Brandon and you, whether you like what he did or he didn't do, he gave us a lot of takes on this off season. Same thing with Big Trent. I'm happy that they're both signed up. I'm looking forward. Real quick before we do our pick'ems, guys, I want to take a moment and just thank God for Ricky Parcell. We all heard he was shot in San Francisco. I think he was targeted from the shoot. I think this kid saw his watch, followed him because that area is not. Union Square is not a really bad area. It's a nice area. Not to say that nothing can happen, but just for a random robbery, it's kind of, I don't know. What do you guys think on that?
He was leaving.
They said the kid wasn't from there.
No, he's from Tracy, California.
Yeah. He was in Chanclas, for one.
The
and
kid?
two, I'm hearing, yeah. And Pearsall was leaving from a signing at the time when it happened. And I'm also hearing, I don't know how true it is. This could be fake news, but supposedly this kid is part of a gang. So I don't know about that.
Well, he's part of a stupid gang because not only did he shoot Ricky, he shot himself with his own gun. So that's the kind of gang I don't want to be part of.
Too. And then also too is I looked at the news today. I'm hearing that they're not trying him as an adult, but he is getting charged for attempted murder.
Oh, but they're not going to charge him as an adult?
No. Well, they said that they're looking into that.
They should.
The information is still coming out about it, but they're still saying that they're trying to find a way to try him as an adult. But for right now,
I hope they do.
Not.
I really do. I hope they tried him as an adult because, listen, shit don't belong to you. Doesn't belong to you, man. I know people are struggling. I know people are going through hard times, but hey, Ricky earned that watch. He busted his ass off in college. He got a contract. He bought a watch, and then somebody just wants to take it off his hands because they think they can do so. But at the end of the point, the watch can be replaced. A life can't. The fact that he got shot, the fact that the bullet went through his chest and did not hit an organ, the fact that he went in on Saturday afternoon and came out and was released on Sunday after a gunshot wound. It's just a miracle that he is fine. I heard that he was back at the weights. I know he's not gonna play for the next 4 games. I don't think he was gonna play that much anyway. So let him continue to learn the offense. But I'm just glad he did not. It wasn't as serious as it could have been, because when you're shooting and you're fighting someone with a gun, it could have been much, much worse. I'm glad nobody else in the area got hurt either.
Yeah.
What's up,
honestly,
David?
I'm surprised that he actually came out of the hospital, like you said, got released the next day. But I heard he was also at the Niners practice in the weight room.
Yeah.
Today.
So that bullet went straight through his chest. It did hit the
Right
organ.
through and through.
Yeah, through and through. And people know, it's crazy, bro. I mean, a little bit higher, it hits an organ. Could have hit his lung. He's a receiver. Yep. You mess up your lung, there goes your career, right?
Yeah. And can we mention for a second, I don't know how many people saw the Trent Williams interview today, but
dude, wow.
The fact that Trent Williams said that played a big part, that what happened to Ricky Pearsall played a big part in
kind of like
why
a big
he
brother
came back when he
type
did.
of thing, yes.
Like,
just wow, bro.
To me, it speaks a lot about Trent, first of all. Like, I mean, first and foremost, I think it speaks a lot about Trent and how he feels about this team, like, and how he feels about the guys in that locker room. But also, and I don't want to be that guy that's like that talks about like it's all about the team all the time. But it speaks to the culture. It speaks to the culture of this squad, and you just see it. Guys don't want to leave. They don't want to leave. They want to be in the building. They want to be around these guys. He talked about Shanahan being like an uncle and family to him. Like, how often do you hear the players talk about their head coach and talk about the building, like the 49ers players talk about this building and talk about this organization? They don't. It doesn't happen.
Like, for example,
so it was wild. I thought it hit me when I was watching. I had to watch it a couple of times, and like it hit me some kind of way, because I was just like, I love this team so much, and
it's
I love
a brotherhood. It's a brotherhood.
I love the culture that Shanny and Lynch have built here, and people sit there and say whatever they want to say about Shanny and not being good enough. Even I criticize Shanny all the time, but the real, and I don't like everything that they do. But at the end of the day, you cannot argue with what they've built.
Yeah, the culture. Yeah, listen, you're a fan, Pete, Brandon. We're all fans. We're all going to have our opinion of how things are done. We're going to see things a little different. We're not going to always go with what Shanahan does. But overall, the culture they have brought and built in San Francisco has been amazing. Players, I know a lot of times Kyle Shanahan gets a bad rap from the media, but the players love him. Did you see him wearing the cane with the suit at this party?
I was just going to say.
He was, man, was he tipsy?
He was.
He
was having fun.
On one. Yeah, no, I loved it. I mean, whose coach do you see like chilling with the players?
Yeah, being drunk in front of them.
Who cares? I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really care if he's partying with Rick Ross. But the fact that he's out with, and people were trying to say that he had a problem with Ayuk, and that he
didn't look like there.
Nope.
But as soon as they get the deal, then guess who's partying with Ayuk?
Because there was really no problem. There was frustration that it wasn't getting done.
Up.
But it's not like they hated each other. It's not like Kyle didn't want to even look at him. The media and people make things worse than what it really is. I bet that the communication between them was always there. There was just some things they had to iron out that they didn't agree upon. But that's part of a negotiation during contracts. But Trent Williams said today, all this time he's been communicating with the Niners. The media says he's nowhere to be heard. Do the Niners communicate with him or not? And he said he's been in communications with the Niners from day one. So the Niners, whether you like Kyle or John or not, what they're doing there, they have the respect of the players, and people want to play for these two guys as players. I mean, to the point where Ayuk did not want to leave. Ayuk got offered more money to go to New England, and he's like, "Oh no, I'll stay with the Niners, where I have a better chance first and foremost, and I'll take less money."
We all knew that he was going to stay for one, and two, we all knew that he wanted to stay. So, that also speaks volumes as well. And
what's up, TL?
Real quick too. What's up,
what
TL?
Up, TL?
So when they had that Niner party Saturday, the team called Ricky while he was in the hospital.
Yeah,
and
FaceTime.
wanted to go over actually and like go see them, but Ricky was like, "No, enjoy the party. Have fun." Da da da. So I mean, the fact that the team actually called him and FaceTimed him, like that speaks volumes as well. Like this team is straight up a family. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah,
they don't talk shit about each other, and if they do, they don't do it publicly,
which makes it really weird. What makes it really, really weird, the timing of the Grant Cohn thing today.
Dude, fuck that guy. I can't.
I think it's just weird. Like if he does, it's a couple of things that make it weird to me. Like, and I don't want to talk bad about Cohn. If he got that source from somebody, if somebody told him that, then hey, he's just reporting what he heard. I get it, but it's kind of weird that the organization as a whole doesn't really vibe with him. We all know that. We've all seen it. Like so,
and that includes the players.
If somebody did say something, it says to me, and maybe this is just me, that they don't that person might have a problem with Kyle or John. And not so much the Yorks. He might just be something this guy just not feeling him like that. But what do you guys think about that whole?
I think they just
because it's blown up. It was all over Twitter all day.
I think they just feed him information so that he can run with it. That it's not true.
I mean, because how often does he have sources telling him anything?
Nope.
Yeah,
you never hear him reporting what sources told him.
Nope. I think the Niners just gave him that information to kind of just send him on a goose chase. I'm sorry, Brandon. Go ahead.
Well, it's okay. So, this is not me talking bad about anybody that's a content creator or whatever. So, Grant Cohn came out with this stuff. Then I saw Ryan came out with this stuff as well. And then Jesse and
Naylor.
Is there anybody else?
Yeah. It was just those guys.
Like they all were like, "Oh yeah, I could confirm this too."
Well, the coach is part of that group.
But I don't
think the coach said anything though.
Oh no.
I don't think so either. But I don't believe any of it, dude.
Because I don't know what was said. I haven't seen or heard anything.
Basically, they're saying that John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan, this is like their last straw, and they're on the hot seat. That's basically what it came out to.
Well,
who's on the hot seat?
So Grant Cohn said that by sources that he has inside the building told him that John and that the front office is not happy with John. They're not happy with how this offseason went, and that John and that Lynch and Shanahan are on the hot seat. And if they don't win the Super Bowl this year, heads are going to roll. Those were the words that came out of his mouth.
Yeah, basically.
Now, it's like it's just it doesn't like I mean what makes it so weird. What makes it so weird to me is that John and Kyle don't always see eye to eye. Like so, I asked when they posted. I put in the thread. I asked, well, because they don't see eye to eye. Maybe do you think this is maybe coming from Kyle, like to get John out or whatever? Just poking around to see what anybody would say, but I didn't get an answer back. Like, but the issue, but the biggest issue is that these guys are printing money for the Yorks. Like, they're making them so much cash. So for them, for the Yorks to come out and say, "Oh well, we don't like how we had to spend money to keep this team and we're not winning a Super Bowl," is just weird. You don't care. You're making money.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, man. This is my personal opinion. Kyle and John have an amazing relationship. They understand each other. They're communicating. It's like anybody else. They're going to have their differences. They're going to have certain things that they disagree. But because of their relationship, they'll figure a way to work it out. Jed York puts his trust completely on John and Kyle. Since they took over, they built a wonderful, top-notch roster that we have. Okay?
Yeah.
Kyle has gotten his team, our San Francisco 49ers, to 3 NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowl appearances since they took over the regime. Now, I understand we haven't won a Super Bowl, and I understand a lot of people want to win a Super Bowl, and they're frustrated. Fine. Be frustrated that we have won a Super Bowl. I'm frustrated. But you still cannot take away the accomplishment of these two guys working together and what they had established here in San Francisco, building the team they built.
Beto, real quick. So it just came out. Nick Wagner just tweeted out that the DA, Brooke Jenkins, announced charges against the 17-year-old. Attempted murder, including allegations of personal and intentional discharge of firearm, assault with a semi-automatic firearm, attempted second-degree robbery.
And I kind of figured, because listen, when you have the mayor, I mean, let's be honest. This has nothing to do with Ricky. Ricky didn't ask for this, but if it would have been you, myself, or Pete in that situation, the mayor, the chief of police would not be talking to the media, nothing like that. Okay, now this is a high-profile case that happened. They're going to make sure that they prosecute this kid to the letter of the T, whatever you want to say it, because they want to make an example of this kid because of the city. They want to make sure everybody knows the city is safe. And unfortunately for this kid, whether he really knew who Ricky was, if he didn't know, he picked the wrong dude to try to shoot and rob, because this guy came with the media, and now it's all over the place. So I personally think they're going to do whatever it takes to make sure everything sticks to this kid, and they're going to use him as an example for the next person that gets an idea of trying to do something similar to what this kid did. And I wouldn't be shocked if they did try him eventually as an adult. The fact that they're giving him attempted murder, wow.
Yeah, Nick Wagner retweeted his tweet, and like an hour later, or like a few minutes later, and said that SFDA Brooke Jenkins said state law doesn't allow suspect to be charged as an adult initially, but they could pursue a transfer hearing to try the juvenile in adult court. A decision on whether to request such a hearing has not yet been made as the investigation continues. So they're still investigating.
Well, I don't know the kid's background, and he shouldn't have done what he done, but the best thing that can happen for him, honestly, is if they try him as a juvenile, because once he turns 18, it gets erased from his books. It just gets erased. If they try him as an adult, that's going to stick around. So we'll see what happens.
It's always going to end up being political, and I really think that with all the stuff that went on over the weekend on Twitter, social media, everything, don't think that the politicians don't hear. And with all of the people saying what they want to say about San Francisco and the issues that they're having in California, they're going to make an example out of somebody.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is a voting. I mean, we're in an election year.
Yeah.
That's going to be worse for the kid. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, he shouldn't have done it in the first place, but getting somebody with a high profile like Ricky doesn't bode well, because now that the mayor. I mean, when was the last time you seen for something that happened like that? You see the mayor, the chief of police, and then the district attorney all having a press conference.
Well, I mean, when you got it, I mean, think about the situation that it was that it was, because he was there signing autographs and there to buy luggage. According to John, he was there to buy luggage for his away games. Like, so you're telling me that as an athlete, as a professional athlete in my town, I can't go shopping and I can't sign autographs for the local fans to without something going down.
Yep.
Like they can't have that type of publicity for the city.
No, absolutely
So
not.
somebody is going down.
Oh yeah.
They are going to
yeah.
throw the book at this kid. They're going to find it one way or another.
Oh yeah,
it's
they're
coming.
gonna make the people there feel confident that if anybody else decides to do something similar to this, beware. Look what happened to this kid. And yeah, I really believe they're going to use him as a goat to get that information out. All right, guys, it is going close to an hour. Or it's already an hour, so we're going to speed up a little bit because I do want to be mindful of Pete. Only because he's 3 hours ahead of us. So for him, it's going to be what, 11?
It's 9:40 right now.
It's 9:40 for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm 2 hours ahead of you.
2 hours ahead of. Okay. So let's switch over, guys, real quick. Let me see here. Let me get to the right. Hold on. All right. Let me switch over to that. Where am I? I'm not there. Hold on. There I am.
So while you're doing that, Beto, just real quick, if nobody saw yet, but Deebo Samuel had his contract restructured today, and it created $16.4 million in cap space.
And like as much as we were talking about him going away, I don't know. Did we talk about that on last week? Did I talk about that with you, Brandon, or did I talk about that just on my show?
It might have been just your show, to be honest.
Oh, okay. Because I know I talked about it last week. I couldn't remember which show it was, but we were talking about how Deebo, everybody's thinking that Deebo might be going away next season. But I said last week, it doesn't seem like that Kyle is even thinking about having Deebo go anywhere. I think he loves Deebo so much that I don't think he's going to let him go. And I don't think so either. This transaction, I think, kind of cements that, because you got to follow the money, and they take a humongous dead money hit if they get rid of him now.
Even Matt Miyoko said that he was falling for the fried ice cream about, now that they signed Brandon Ayuk, that Deebo was not going to be here next year. He's like, maybe not so fast. If the Niners want him here, they'll make it. I always said there's no reason why Deebo and Ayuk cannot be here next year and the year after that if the Niners wanted that to be done. And we'll find out. But anyway, I'm going to have Pete do first because he's up there, and then we'll have my brother Brandon, then I'll finish it off. So real quick, we're going to go through these fast. I put your name on the bottom, Pete, on this page. So we'll be saving this every week, so we can tally up every week, and then next week we'll show off what the record was of wins and losses, and then we'll do the total points for the tiebreaker on Monday night. So Baltimore at Kansas City, who are you taking?
Baltimore at Kansas City.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Baltimore.
Okay. Ooh, Baltimore.
I'm going to take Baltimore.
Okay. And I know normally you could see what I have on the screen, but I know right now you can, and I apologize for that.
No, I can't.
I have this assigned so that you guys.
I get it.
If I were you, I would look at if you have another way to looking at your. Okay, so let's move on. So Friday, which is weird, they're going to have a Friday game. It's I guess because it's where it's played at. I forgot where it's played in Brazil. So it's Green Bay at Philadelphia, but it's a neutral spot in Brazil. Who are you taking, Pete?
Neutral site. And what is it again? The Eagles and who?
It's Green Bay versus the
Packers.
Eagles. Packers, yeah.
Okay. Why is okay. And who is oh, okay, I see. Okay. So then I'm gonna go Packers.
Packers. Okay. Sunday, September 8th, you have Pittsburgh at Atlanta.
I'm gonna go Falcons.
Falcons.
Really?
I love it. Arizona
Interesting.
at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Buffalo. Okay. We got Tennessee at Chicago.
At Chicago. Yeah, I'm gonna go Chicago.
Chicago.
Yep.
All right. You got New Orleans at Cincinnati.
Oh, where are they at? New Orleans. Wait. New Orleans.
Wait,
at
no,
Cincinnati.
New England.
Did I say New Orleans? I'm sorry. New England
There you go. Set me up
Patriots
again.
and against the
Like that.
Bengals. I won't say the city. I'll just say the team.
Patriots at Bengals. Oh, Bengals.
Okay. My bad.
That's easy.
All right.
That's an easy one.
So we have the Texans at the Colts.
Texans.
Okay. We got Jaguars at Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Dolphins. Okay. We got Panthers at Saints.
Oh, Saints.
Saints. Okay. We got Vikings at Giants.
I'm gonna go Vikings.
Vikings. Okay. We got Raiders at Chargers.
Chargers. Oh, then I guess I gotta go Chargers.
Chargers.
Well, the reason why I'm thinking so hard is I honestly I think that I don't think it's gonna be as good of a season as people think for Chargers. But
Yeah, me neither. I
don't
think
think-
they got to
I don't
continue
think
to
it's
build
gonna
that.
be a good season for the Raiders either.
No, they don't even have a quarterback.
Yeah.
They have no quarterback.
All right, real quick.
Yeah.
Because we'll
they're
be here
gonna
until I'm doing it for you, bro. So I can be here all night. But
Yeah.
Broncos at Seattle or Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Maybe next week we'll start a little earlier so that we can give our input. Cowboys at Cleveland.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Cleveland.
Cleveland. All right.
Yep.
We got the Washington Commanders at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
At the Buccaneers. I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. All right. So we got Buccaneers. We got LA Rams at Detroit.
Detroit.
Detroit. Okay. Let's see here. We got the Monday night game, Jets at San Francisco, and then give me total points.
Total points?
Yes, because that's for the tiebreaker.
Okay. Let's go.
I'm going to pick the Niners, bro.
49ers.
There's no way you.
Yeah. Yeah, 49ers. Total points. I'm going to say 38.
38 total points.
Yeah.
All right. So there you are set for yours real quick. Give me a second. Let me take a snapshot of this because
Just save it, Neil.
no, it's not that easy because I have it live with everybody. It won't save, but don't
Can
worry.
you screenshot it on the computer or no?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a screenshot on the computer real fast. I thought I had it already down here, but I don't. Where is it? There you are. Let me put it down there now since I'm dealing with this. Right there. Okay. So now let me bring back the... Oops. That's not it. Oops. Come on. Really? There we go. And then let me do the snapshot, and then we'll move on. We'll move on to Mr. Brandon real fast, so we can save these every week. Let me snapshot it real fast. All right, boom. All right, so let me take this off. All right, so give me a second. Let me change this over to Brandon. Brandon, I'm always having a hard time spelling your last name. Spell it for me.
FERRIGNO.
Okay. Boom. All right. So Baltimore at Kansas City.
I'm gonna go with KC on this one.
Casey. All right. Switch it over. Green Bay at Philadelphia. Or
Green Bay.
okay. Steelers at Atlanta.
I'm going Pittsburgh.
You're going to take Pittsburgh? Mm-hmm. All right. Let me remove this one here. All right. Arizona at Buffalo.
Buffalo.
Okay. Tennessee at Chicago.
I'm going with the Bears. The Bears.
The Bears.
Patriots at Cincinnati.
Are we going with Cincy?
You going with Cincy? Okay. Mm-hmm. Houston at Indianapolis.
I'm going with the Texans.
Okay. Jacksonville at Miami.
Give me the Dolphins at home.
Okay. You got the Panthers at New Orleans.
I'm going Saints.
Saints.
Yep.
Minnesota at New York Giants.
I'm going with the Vikings on this one.
Vikings. Raiders. Las Vegas at LA Chargers.
I'm going with the Chargers.
Okay. Denver at Seattle.
We'll go for the upset. I'm going with the Broncos on this one.
All right, let me erase that one. So you're going to go for the upset? I like it.
Yeah.
Dallas at Cleveland.
Cleveland.
Washington at Tampa Bay.
Bucks at home.
Okay. Rams at Detroit.
Lions.
All right. Niners and Jets.
Niners.
Total point.
I'm going to say 31.
31. Okay. Now let me change it to mine and we'll get out of here. Next week we'll start a little bit sooner so that we don't take too long. Everybody's watching, still watching. Appreciate you guys. Now we're going to be doing the same thing here for the money one. So if you're interested, I put my email on there so you guys can email me. All right. So I'm going to take Kansas City myself. I'm going to take Green Bay. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take the Eagles on this one. Pittsburgh and Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta. I'm taking Atlanta over the Pittsburgh. Okay, Arizona, Buffalo. I'm taking Buffalo. I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking Cincinnati. I'm taking Houston. I'm taking Miami, the Saints, Vikings, Chargers. I'm taking Seattle. No way, I'm taking the Broncos. Seattle at home.
Go Knicks, bro.
Cleveland. I'm taking Tampa Bay. I'm taking Detroit. I'm taking the Niners. And total points for me will be 34 points. There we are. Oh, shit. I did not snapshot yours, Brandon. So after we get off the show, stay with me, Brandon. Don't go nowhere. I'm not going to keep everybody waiting. I'm gonna, yeah. So I got mine, and Brandon's not playing. Just kidding. So guys, we're going to get off of the air, and I'll finish this with Brandon. I appreciate everybody tuning in. We're going to do this every week. We're going to be talking Niner football. We're going to break down the game that played. We'll break down the Jets and Niners game next Tuesday, and then we'll give a preview of the Niners and Minnesota, and then we'll do our picks like we did tonight. If you're interested in playing for money, $5 a week, and the winner gets the pot that week. So if you're interested, please hit me up and let me know. Pete, thank you for joining me. Real quick, what do you have in your chat or in your channel going on this week?
I'm gonna have to have my show Niner Fanatic podcast on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, and anywhere where you can get your audio podcast. I'm going to be moving it to Friday this week because I have to be at work on Thursday. So I'll be moving that till Friday this week, and then but yeah, that'll be on same time as this show, 6:30 Pacific time, and yeah, just getting you guys ready for the Monday night game. And I'm sure there'll be some new drama that comes out that we'll have to talk about, but make sure you join me for that one.
Okay, cool. What do you got going on, Brandon?
All right, so I got a show tomorrow night. Me, Dion, and Christian will be going live with the rest of the Hive crew, Zach and Matt, and our guy Mike Andrews from Nothing But Niners tomorrow night between 7:15, 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that tomorrow. I'll be sure to put out the link to go ahead and go watch us tomorrow night on X.
I noticed that's the only one that I don't get invited to, but that's okay.
Anyways, I'll talk to you afterwards, okay, you little mijo? Damn.
I'm kidding, bro. I'm kidding.
Follow the page, YouTube, Forever Faithful Podcast. We're at 705 right now. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. So please follow, subscribe, like. Really appreciate it. Also, we're on X, Forever Faithful Podcast, Facebook, Twitch, and we're also on audio portion as well. SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, XM Radio, all that good stuff. So
make sure to follow. Real quick, I think I figured yours out. You took Baltimore, you took Kansas City, you took Green Bay, you took Pittsburgh, you took Buffalo, you took Chicago, you took Cincinnati, you took Houston, Miami, New Orleans, Vikings, Denver, Cleveland, Tampa Bay, Detroit, San Francisco, and you said 31.
Yep.
All right, so let me take a snapshot of that so that I don't have to keep you here either. Okay, there you go, all three of us. So we're all set, guys. If you guys want to play, again, $5, and the winner takes the pot, hit me up.
Let me know your email.
My email is NinerSicknessPodcast NinerSicknessPodcast49 at gmail.com. NinerSicknessPodcast49 at gmail.com. Send me an email if you want to play for some money. Doing pick'ems, you're welcome to do so. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hanging out with us. Have a wonderful night. God bless. And we'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Oh, what's up, Dion? Hella late, but what's up, dude?
Dion?
Yeah.
Since Dion's here, we're leaving. We're leaving because Dion. Nah, just kidding, Dion. Love you, brother. All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Yes, sir, Dion.
Go Niners.
Go Niners.